After all these years of making videos, something I have never revealed before is my favorite anime. Like, the anime that sits at the absolute top of my favorites list. And that anime is The Vision of Escaflowne. This anime is just one of those classics. It is, you know, when people talk about, like, you know, like, the classics of anime, like, you know, especially, like, 90s anime, you know, you have your Cowboy Bebops, Triguns, and Escaflowne is usually, like, you know, just right up in there along with Utena. You know, it's one of those series, you know, Evangelion as well. You know, it sits in that echelon of top-tier 90s anime. And it is a series that is very near and dear to me. It is the anime that got me into anime. Like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Pokemon, you know, those were my gateway animes. This was the one that, like, really showed me what anime could be and made me go and seek out other animes. Like, I originally saw the horribly butchered version. Even the butchered version was enough to captivate me and make me want to, like, look for more of this stuff. And, you know, like, you know, it was the first series I ever collected, too. Like, you know, I'd have, like, my mom, like, buy me, like, the random, you know, Pokemon or DBZ VHS tape back in the day. But, you know, back then, like, you know, when I had, like, my very first job, I was just, you know, every chance I got, I would just pick up another Escaflowne VHS tape. And I picked up all those. And then one day, like, you know, they announced, like, you know, this awesome collector's edition box set. And there's, like, another box that goes with this that has, like, a limited edition action figure. But, you know, and it was this collector's edition. It was a limited print of, like, 10,000. And, you know, like, I had to have it. Just, so I purchased it again on DVD. And, you know, like, really, like, this series has meant so much to me. And it's one that I keep going back to, you know, thinking, like, oh man, shit, is this still gonna be good? Is this still gonna, like, live up to my nostalgic memories? And it does. And, like, it's actually gotten better since the first time I've watched it. Like, you know, there are little things that I've noticed that I didn't notice originally. There's little nuances in the story and the characters. It is such a rich, fantastic series. And I really didn't plan on revealing what my favorite anime was in this format. Like, I really expected, like, you know, to be a big special video where I talk about it at great length, talk about all the great things that are in it, and why it means so much to me, and why I think it's so great, and why after, like, God, what is it, like, 15-ish years, it is still my favorite #1 anime. Like, it is why it's set up there. But, like, the reason I'm bringing it up now is, Funimation made a recent announcement. Like, Funimation, Bandai Entertainment, is the one that released this set. And, you know, Bandai is no longer with us. Or Bandai Entertainment, USA is no longer with us. So, you know, Funimation, whenever they picked up a whole bunch of other Bandai titles, picked up Escaflowne, because of course they did. You know, it's a legendary top-tier anime. And they recently announced a Kickstarter for a new dub of it. And you're probably wondering, like, why does it need a new dub? You know, it's like, is there anything wrong with this dub? It's a slightly dated dub, but that's beside. It's a dub that I really enjoy, but I can understand why others might not. But anyhow, but the main reason Funimation is redubbing this is the Blu-ray footage, the Blu-ray release of Escaflowne in Japan added additional scenes. Those additional scenes obviously have never been dubbed. So Funimation is kind of putting their feelers out to see, you know, like, you know, if there's a market for people, like, would people be interested in buying, you know, Escaflowne on Blu-ray? Like, you know, is it really worth it financially for them to redub it? Because, like, a dub is expensive, you know, obviously. So, you know, and, you know, Escaflowne has been around for so long, and it's had so many releases. Bandai put it out on, like, you know, they put out this box set, then they put out, like, this fold-out box set, and then they put it in, like, 2 separate little smaller box sets, and then they put it in one bigger box set. And, yeah, they've this series has seen a lot of releases, especially budget releases. So, like, it's one of those things, like, if you wanted Escaflowne, you probably owned it. So I can understand, like, why they're doing that. They're putting their feelers out and testing the waters on this. And, so yeah, like, of course, as soon as I heard it, like, obviously, like, I really want to see a Blu-ray release of this. I'm excited at the idea of it getting redubbed. Basically, yeah, I am just sales pitching this Kickstarter. Like, I would recommend, like, if you're familiar with Escaflowne and you would like to see a Blu-ray release of it, and you'd like to own a Blu-ray release of it, and you'd like to see it happen in the States, if you want to see, like, a brand new dub for it done by Funimation, I highly, highly recommend you check out their Kickstarter, and, support this. If you've never heard of Escaflowne, like, I'm not asking, like, just, blindly support an anime you've never heard of. Like, I would never say that. But, if this piques your interest, look up Escaflowne online. See if you can find some episodes, see if it's something that you like. And if you would think, like, man, I like a newly dubbed HD version of that, like, with all, with the new additional scenes and whatnot, then, yeah, like, go for it. Like, I am really just trying to, like, I just really wanted to take a moment to just gush about, this anime and just what it has meant to me over the years. And to say, like, just how, like, I want to see this succeed. So if I can just get, like, if this video gets 2-3 people, even just one person, to help support this cause, like, because it is one of the great classics of anime. And for it to not get a Blu-ray release would be really tragic in the States. And, and it really deserves it. Like, I mean, it deserves it as much as Cowboy Bebop does. It deserves it as much as Evangelion does. It deserves it as much as Utena does. And hopefully we'll get, I mean, we're going to get an Utena box set in Blu-ray, but hopefully one day we'll also get Escaflowne as well. But, it's one of those shows. Like, it's, like, its legacy really does precede it. And, yeah, like, usually I don't get involved in shit like this. Usually, like, I would just silently support something like this and not whore it out, but, and then honestly, like, the Kickstarter's already doing super well. Like, I think at the time of me recording this, they're already at 10,000. It's been up for, like, less than an hour, or an hour, roughly, at the time of me recording this. So, who knows, by the time this is uploaded, they might even have already reached their goal. I don't know. But, like, I just really want to do my part in just celebrating and supporting my all-time favorite series. Like I said, like, if you're into anime, you really want to see something, like, if you want to, like, own this on Blu-ray, this is your perfect opportunity. Of course, I've already supported. The moment I saw that, I supported the, I threw down 175 for, like, the ultimate, collector's edition box set that has the entire series and the movie and, like, an art book. So, yeah, like, I'm getting, like, the sweet super premium edition Blu-ray, and it also comes with bonus DVDs with the original dub on it. Like, that's the version I'm going for, because obviously I need to own the best fucking version of Escaflowne I could possibly get my hands on. But yeah, yeah, that's, like, like I said, if you guys are interested, like, if me just rambling about this, if you've never even heard of this anime, me just rambling about it, like it is, if you guys want an idea, it's, it's fantasy, it's dragons, it's mechs, it's magic, it's romance, it's sword fights. It's a little bit of everything, and it's so good, and it really strikes an amazing balance of all of those elements, and yeah, like, it's, like no anime has meant as much to me as this. Like, no series I can really think of. Like, I mean, like, TMNT are very near to my heart, and, so does Dragon Ball Z from a nostalgic standpoint, but, like, this series, like I said, like, this is what made me go and pursue anime. Like, this is what made me want to collect more and more anime, and got me into wanting to see and experience more of it. And I don't think I would have, it's possible that I never would have collected anime to the extent that I have. Like, I wouldn't have the collection that I have today. And, yeah, I guess I'm just done gushing at this point. Just, like I say, like, if if me gushing about this has, you know, gotten other people interested in this anime to just, you know, check it out, I'm sure you can find episodes on YouTube. They're probably not legal streaming, but fuck it, hey, you know, you can't even, you know, easily purchase the series without a print, so fuck it, you know, until Funimation puts out their slick new dub of it, which will hopefully, you know, get funded. But yeah, yeah, that's all I really wanted to do, is just, you know, take a moment to just, you know, open up and talk about this series, its impact it's had on me, you know, like what it means to me, you know, like it is just, yeah, it is the anime to me, and nothing has ever dethroned it after over 15 years, and, you know, seeing it get like a 20th anniversary Blu-ray edition, you know, with all the bells and whistles, like, that is just a dream come true. And, you know, like I implore you guys, you know, if anything I said sounded cool about, like, dragons and mechs and fantasy and swords and all that shit, you know, if that shit sounded cool to you, I recommend going and checking it out. And if you like it, support it. You know, like, because this is a series that really, really deserves it. And, you know, there are a few shows that I could really point to that I think deserve it as much as this. Like, this is, yeah, like Escaflowne was really something special. And for it to not get this treatment, like, it would be a crime. I mean, you know, yeah, and it's just in that echelon of animes that, like, this, it needs to happen at some point. And, you know, I really need this to succeed. So yeah, like, pretty much just, like, it's me getting that word out there. Like, if I can just get that word out there and support something that has brought so much joy and happiness to me and has meant so much to me, you know, that's all I can do. But yeah. Hopefully, you know, you guys will check out that Kickstarter, and yeah, and this, you know, this will get an uncut Blu-ray release with a brand new Funimation dub, and yeah, and that'll be awesome. Yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble and gush about my favorite anime of all time, and until next time, guys, Zeon, out.